Hello and welcome to the A New Day Show. I am your host, Daphne Clarke-Hudson, and I am always super excited when I get time to visit with you in your homes or office or wherever you are watching the show from this evening. Today's episode is a very special episode because, you know, we are coming down to the end of the year. And people always wait until the last day of December, and at 10 minutes to 12, everyone wants to get into the hustle and bustle of designing or creating, if you may, New Year's resolutions, which they normally forget by the 2nd of January. So we wanted to take a leap ahead of that and allow you to begin to create the plan of action. And we are going to start with your finances. And joining me for this segment this evening is Mr. Alexander Williams. And Mr. Alexander Williams is a certified financial planner. And he is here to give us some nuggets about getting our finances in order and building on creating wealth. So, Alex, thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Dynamic Daphne, my pleasure.
Oh, it's always an honor. I know that you come with a wealth of information because not only that you work with adults, but you also begin to create a legacy where you are teaching what you do to others so that this legacy can go on even when you decide you are no longer going to be doing that. So I want to congratulate you on that. So
well, thank you.
Take a few minutes, please, and introduce yourself. I know in Danbury, you are a Danburian, so you need no introduction to the people here at home. But seeing that we are in other cities and states as well, we wanted to tell people a little bit about who Alexander Williams is.
Well, thank you very much, Daphne. You know, again, I want to thank you for inviting me to your program. Very nice seeing you again.
It's a pleasure.
Okay. I'm a certified financial planner. And what does that mean? It means that I help people reach their financial goals. And how do I do that? It's through a process of gathering information, identifying your goals and your objectives, determining a suitable plan, the implementation of the plan, and then lastly, which is most important, to monitor the plan and how successful you are in making your goals and objectives come to pass.
You know, a lot of people hear the term financial planner or certified financial planner, and the first thing comes to mind, oh, that's for the people who are wealthy. Would you agree with that statement?
Well, how do you think the wealthy became wealthy?
because they began working with financial planners. But the
Yes.
ordinary person out there, John Joe, sit down and think, well, if I don't have any money, I don't need a financial planner. And that's why we need one.
Exactly.
So we can help us there. So where do we begin the process of educating ourselves so that we know how to operate bountifully in our finances?
That's a very good question, Daphne. Where do you start? Well, you start with your values. What's important to you? And sometimes we're so busy working and rustling around and rushing and everything, and we don't take the time out to determine what's very important for you.
That's right. That's right.
And sometimes important to you is your health, your well-being, your family, spiritual development, and to living out your life the way that you feel comfortable living it. So that's the first place you start. And then you try to put together the finances to help implement and help make sure that you're able to carry out your goals. Like, for example, Daphne, if you needed surgery, if you were sick and ill, would you try to do that yourself, or would you contact a doctor to help you?
No, you'd look for the specialists who specialize in that disease or ailment, you know?
Exactly. And that's the same thing with financial planning. You work with a professional who has a fiduciary standard, who's willing to listen to what you say and help put a plan together.
You know, I listened to you explain where to start, and immediately came into my mind that there are certain ethnic groups, which I won't call because they didn't sponsor the show, so I'm not going to give them any credits for that. There are certain ethnic groups who begin from the kids are knee high, because it's part of the family conversation and part of the dialogue that take place in those families every day. So by the time a young man becomes 12, he already has a steady bank account or some investment, or he's in those businesses that the families own, sitting on the counter or on the high stool, learning the business. But I can only speak for the culture that I belong. We don't include our children in those conversations. When we are getting ready to discuss bills, whether we have enough money to cover the bills or we don't, we ask the kids to, this is not your place. And I think as a people, and I can only speak about people of black or African descent, we need to begin to understand the importance of including our children in those early conversations. What has your experience been around that?
Well, I really can't generalize in that regard. It starts with a vision that you have for yourself and your family. And what does the Bible say about vision? Without a vision, you will perish.
That's right.
So it starts right there.
That's right.
And then regardless of what nationality, it doesn't matter. It starts with that vision, and then you try to carry out that vision with your family, which includes discussions, and which includes education. And this education, unfortunately, they don't teach you in the schools.
That's right.
It's going to be done at home.
At home. At home.
So I just encourage everyone to start today. It's never too late to start planning, start having a vision for yourself and the future of your children.
Alex, you have been on this path for a good number of years. In your encounter, how successful are African Americans in their financial planning? And I know we're not generalizing, but are you comfortable with where we are as a people?
Well, I certainly think we could do a lot better. We have accomplished so much throughout the years. We are in politics, we're in entertainment, we're in athletics, we're on television. We're a great role models for many, many people. We have the opportunity to to a new level. So the answer to your question, I think there's a lot of success, but there are pockets. You know, it's not overall. There's certain outstanding individuals that have done over and above and are quite successful financially. And then again, there's others who obtain a lot of money, a lot of finances, and they lose it.
Yeah, because that was what was just coming to my mind as you name out those different categories. And I'm thinking, Lord knows that there's a lot of them that made money, and it is like you pour liquid through a sieve. It just went. And then I keep asking the question, where did they go wrong? And a lot of them got bad advice and they didn't manage properly.
True.
But a lot of them, if they had the initial exposure to this, the people who they hire to guide or watch their finances, they would be the top watchdog above all those people. But I think a lot of times they make money and they hire the best there is in the field to do, and just trust too much and not manage the people they hire, and that's where they fall short.
I think you made a very interesting point there, especially today, with this new financial reform and the new fiduciary standard that one must have. Today is much more than just giving your money to someone and let them manage. You need to be educated.
That's right.
To know exactly where it's going, how it's working, and the annual results of that. Okay? So that's where we are different today, whereas in the past, perhaps you may just trust a Bernie Madoff to handle your funds. You didn't have no clue what was going on, but you heard through the grapevine that the returns were high.
Yeah, right.
And you trusted in that. But today, the average consumer wants to be educated.
Must be. And it's not that that education is going to come knocking our doors. We need to go seeking. And even when you seek and find, you try to compare what you're getting to make sure it's legit. So, for someone who has not yet begun the journey of financial planning, and they say, well, 2011 is coming, I listen to Mr. Williams, I want to do exactly what he says. Give them a checklist to begin. Where do they start?
Well, again, it's value-based. Determine what your own values are first. What is important to you? It can be different from other people. But understand what's your values first. And then seek a professional.
Right.
And then discuss these ideas with him and ask for his credentials.
That's right, because God, how do you know who is really a professional? Because you and I know that financial planner, and even some people that say certified financial planner, how do you understand what is the difference between a certified financial planner or a financial planner, or people who are just coming and saying, oh, I can look after your financing and all of that. So, you know, the rest of us who have not gone the journey of educating ourselves like you did, how can we be sure that that credential that they are telling us or showing us is legit? And what are some questions that we need to ask this professional so we can check off some of the things that you're telling us on our list? We have our values down. And now we are ready to sit with someone.
That's a very good question. Well, one of the first things you want to ask is certainly ask, what is his specialty? What does he specialize in? Then you could ask for references, other satisfied clients. And you could go on the website, the Certified Board of Standards for Financial Planners, and see if his name's listed there.
I have to stop you. Oh, because you keep saying this his thing, and it's rubbing me so hard. I got to stop you. I can't let you get away with that one more time.
Okay.
You got to say they, because there are some great sisters who are certified financial planners too.
Sure.
But you keep saying he and he and he,
okay.
as if it's the man.
I stand corrected.
So I just have to take it up for the sisters. I don't want to come knocking on the door, but you know, yes.
Absolutely, and there is a very significant training that the certified financial planner goes through. is quite extensive, and not everyone could pass these tests that you have to go through. It's a written test, a case study test. It is also ethical standards that you must adhere to.
Yes.
And you also must have continuing education requirements every single year to stay on top of all the changes. But the board of standards of the certified financial planners, you could go on that website and ask for a planner in your area.
Ah, so it's a national board. International.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. That alone was worth this visit here because I did not know. I thought that certified financial planner was certified for their state or region, but it's international.
Absolutely.
And I'm wondering how many people know that, because people are just looking to see, oh, they're just here and there, and they really don't search. So that alone was worth the show. I mean, if need be, we could pack up and leave now because that was alone was good information. So thank you, Alex. So no longer do we need to be in the dark.
No.
Only if we are ignorant about the fact of going out to search and find and spend time.
Exactly.
Spend time to search and make sure that the person you're going to sit with really meet the credentials. So now we have the values down. We check the board to find out if the person is legit. What else do we need to do?
Well, you need to really be able to communicate to the advisor of what your goals are, what your plans are, what you would like to accomplish.
That's right.
Okay? And he must listen to you. It's not about his agenda, but it's about your agenda. So you have to be able to disclose that information with him.
So you're going to the planner. You need to have a plan when you go.
Well, not really a plan, but be able to have dialogue as to what you would like to do.
Yeah, when I say a plan, I mean you have $10 million, for argument's sake, and you go sit down, and the financial planner will probably ask, so what are some plans you have? As an individual, you kind of need to have an idea, and then he or she will guide you as to, you know, what will add value to based on your values and everything. So you can't just go and just listen to what they're telling you, but you need to have an input in what's going on. Have a say.
Exactly. And again, what's very important to you, it may be retirement. It may be providing for your children. It may be a charitable concern. It may be to avoid taxes.
And it could be all of the above.
Absolutely.
Wonderful.
And also, a lot of times when people have that $10 million or $10,000 and they go to an advisor, they don't disclose everything. So therefore, it's very difficult for the planner to do an accurate plan if you don't disclose.
Wow. Why do you think it's that way? Why don't people disclose?
Well, sometimes they think that they're diversifying their portfolios by having a little money here, a little money here, and a little money there. But they don't realize that in order to do a quality, comprehensive plan, you have to disclose all the assets and all the needs and all the expenses so we can accurately identify what needs to be done.
You know, it's interesting, Alex, that you said that because as a coach, I always, and I tell my clients in my intake, I say, I know it's going to take at least 3 or 4 months for you to really be honest to me. But I just want you to know that the longer you take to be honest is the longer it's going to take me to be able to assist you.
Sure.
And I know that, and I look on it and I say, well, I know, especially if they don't know me before they started doing business, they want to use that time to develop the trust and the respect and all of that before they really tell me everything that is going on. But to hear that coming from a certified financial planner, it was surprising because I was thinking after they have done all the research and come in to sit with you, they threw all of their doubts outside. And now they're coming and said, well, here, I know you can help us. So that was a great insight for me to hear.
Definitely, in addition to that, the type of questions that the advisor and even the coach asks will also generate more trust.
Yes.
You follow me? If you're just asking, well, how much money do you have? That's not enough.
That's right.
We have to understand, what do you want to do?
with
What's your ideal? What's your overall objective?
I want to look at the younger generation, the millennium
Gen X.
generation, and us, you know, and who is more comfortable with the kind of conversation that we are having now? Do you think the younger generation is more open and receptive? And are they getting on to that quicker than our, my generation is?
Well, I think both generations are coming aboard, but different methods of doing it.
Yes, yes.
For example, the young people today, everything's got to be online and computerized.
Digital, yeah.
Okay. However, the older generation, not you, but older than you, they like to have the hands-on, face-to-face meeting, type of meetings with planners.
So now the certified financial planners now have to become more creative.
Oh, absolutely.
It's not only that you do the continuing education, but you have to become creative so you can attract both clientele.
Exactly. Exactly.
I think we have round about maybe 8 minutes, and you ask where the time go. Time goes by so quickly when we are having fun. So we spoke about how to choose a certified financial planner, because that's the one you want to go with. A certified one that is the one that has all the credential.
Correct.
So in order for people to understand, I think this is important for them to know. How do you realize if a person is certified? Is that only the listing on that international
Yes,
board?
and there's a designation behind their names, which is copyrighted.
Okay.
Okay, so not anyone can use that designation. It's got to be assigned and copyrighted for that individual.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. So now people understand how they need to go out and to select a certified financial planner to work with them. Now, other than allocating your funds, what about is your will and testament? Are those part of what a certified financial planner does, or that's
Yeah, absolutely. The financial planning process really covers 5 areas.
Yeah, would you
It
please?
covers investment analysis. It covers retirement planning. It covers taxation. It covers estate planning, which is the will and trust, and also covers risk management.
Wonderful.
That includes all your insurances.
Okay.
So all those 5 areas work together into one total plan.
Can you highlight a little on each of the 5 steps, please?
Well, the investment analysis will be to analyze your current portfolio, if you have one, or you're developing one.
Yes.
Plan 2 or step 2 would be to work with your retirement plans. Either you have it at work, 401k, an IRA, Roth, or whatever retirement plan that you have dealing with what you call qualified funds. Okay? The third aspect would be taxes. Most people don't want to pay a lot of taxes, right? So we're going to analyze your tax situation.
Right.
Fourthly would be your risk management. All your insurance, your auto insurance, your home insurance, your life insurance, your long-term care insurance. And then lastly would be your estate planning. What about your wills, your living trusts, your health care directive, all those documents that you want to be in place for your beneficiaries.
Out of these 5 steps, which as a professional you see tend to be the most difficult conversation to have with your clients?
Well, the most difficult part is having them understanding that all these 5 areas work together, and they must have a plan. They must have an objective for each of those 5 plans. Sometimes individuals don't think about risk management. They don't think about their estate planning. They may be young, and they're not thinking about that. So the hardest part is to have them understand that through life, anything could happen, at any time.
Yeah, it's like a puzzle, so all 5 pieces fit together.
Exactly.
And you're right, because when a person is in their 20s and they're probably an athlete or an actress and they want to sit because the funds are coming in now, they don't want to talk about, you know, estate planning and all of that. Oh, I'm too young for that. But who knows? As you say, we only see today. We don't know what will happen tomorrow.
Exactly.
And then, so it's you know, it's a good thing that this information is available now for any age to get into and to utilize. Now, for the people who are thinking, man, I know that information that Mr. Williams spoke about is good information, but I don't have any money. I don't have anything set aside. For those people who think they don't have any money because they don't have a large sum set aside, what's your advice to them?
Well, a 1,000-mile journey starts with 1 step. So you have to take the first step. And a lot of times what's happening there is you have to also look at your credit status. Because sometimes that will determine what you pay for things. Especially today in this new economy that we're in, if you don't have a 740 credit score or better, it's very difficult to do anything. Getting a job, getting insurance, getting a promotion, or buying a house or buying a car. So there's always an opportunity to sit down with a certified financial planner and come up with a plan. You don't have to have a lot of money.
That's right, because you're setting your life in order. Because it's amazing that the credit score doesn't just affect you purchasing something, but even getting a promotion on your job. And you oftentimes ask the question, a lot of people, I don't think they understand that it impacts all those different areas of their life.
Exactly. And when you ask most people, they don't even know what their credit score is.
They don't know. They don't know what their credit score is. And I think you can all call up all 3 credit bureaus, and you get one credit report.
And then when you get the report, you have to know what to do with it in order to make it better and how to have right habits so you don't make it worse.
Okay. We roundabout have about maybe 2.5 minutes here. So I want to just ask you whether or not you would come back to continue this conversation, to talk about, what to do with the credit score and the other pieces, because this is just a drop, like a mustard seed right in that big pond, and there's no ripple effect that is yet taking place. So I want to ask you whether or not you would come back and have conversation with me again so that I can help to enlighten.
Certainly, Daphne. For you, anything.
Well, I thank you, Mr. Williams. Thank you for the commitment that you have made in the lives of so many families in Connecticut area, and I'm sure outside of Connecticut. You are a model person for entrepreneurs and for small business people to tap into. Of course, you at home, I am excited that you take this time to join us, and I pray that this help you to get your house in order. And I'm sure we'll have Mr. Williams back. I'll make sure that he commit to a date before he leave the studio here. And you stay tuned to A New Day show, because we are committed to helping you to develop your life and create amazing legacies. Stay blessed.